So autoimmune diseases have a significant impact on our health, and this morning we'll explore groundbreaking insights into autoimmune diseases and gain a better understanding of their effects on our well-being. Get ready to enhance your health knowledge with internal medicine resident at UWI, who is late for work, by the way, Dr. Je-Vaughn Wynther.
Hi,
He's working here.
Working now.
But he's actually late for work, to be serious. Morning, my friend. Welcome to Smile. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain. Give thanks.
Thank you.
What is an autoimmune disease?
All right, so essentially, autoimmune diseases are any conditions that where the body's immune system attacks its natural cells. So your body's natural line of defense or your immune system mistakes your normal cells for like invaders, essentially. So it's attacking itself. Auto means self, right? So it's attacking itself, and it can manifest in different ways and affecting different organs, right? Multiple organs or one organ, or a constellation of both.
Yeah. What are some common types?
So some of the common types that we may see, systemic lupus erythematosus, or lupus as people may know, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis. You may have like inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, right? You may have like Graves' disease, right? Multiple sclerosis, among others. Yes.
So, how we get up our immune system to ensure that those things don't happen, and why would our immune system, double-barrel question, so why would our immune system not be strong enough to fight off all of these diseases?
Well, that's a very good question. Sometimes, we think there are different factors that predispose one to get autoimmune diseases, right? Sex, right? So persons who were assigned female at birth, right, that predispose one to getting autoimmune diseases. It has a female predilection. So autoimmune diseases, we tend to see it more in females, right? And especially those between the ages of 15 to 45, around that age, you tend to come on and see it within that age group. There are other theories that say, okay, diet, environmental factors like some certain chemicals as well, and it could be hereditary. So people with a family history of autoimmune diseases. So if you have a mother or aunt with lupus, so that would predispose you to getting autoimmune diseases.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of the things that puzzles me, because your immune system is the thing that's supposed to be protecting you and
Precisely.
keeping you healthy.
Yes.
What would make your immune system kind of turn on itself?
Well, to be honest, sometimes healthcare providers are not really sure of why it just happens all of a sudden, but it happens, and we see it a lot. Different conditions in different ethnicities as well. So in Caucasians or persons in the European descent, they may have a certain group of autoimmune diseases, and like in the Caribbean or Afro-American and Hispanic Latinos, you see a certain subsets of autoimmune diseases. But we're unsure at times of why it happens, right, in this particular group as opposed to this particular group. It could be genetic, as I mentioned, or different factors.
One of the things I also find curious is that it happens in different ways.
Yes.
So someone could be skipping along quite fine until their 40s, and then an autoimmune disease develops.
Yes.
Or someone who is earlier, coming out of teen years. Do you have any idea why it happens at different stages in people?
So as I mentioned, age is also a factor. I tend to see between the ages of 15 to like 45, right? And what things you need to look out for, you need to look out for particular systems, or symptoms rather, because the autoimmune diseases, they attack different organ systems, right? So some may attack your nervous system, as I mentioned, like multiple sclerosis, and then you have symptoms like you may feel weak, or all of a sudden you just can't walk, or you may feel lightheaded. Other stuff may affect your joints and muscles. So people have joint pain and swelling, and you may be wondering, why is this so? What's happening to me? And people may overlook it, but then over time you may have triggers or flare-ups, right? Some other people, they may have other symptoms like gastrointestinal symptoms like vomiting, blood in the stool, feeling bloated, and you're not sure what is the cause, what caused this, right? And you may have overlap of symptoms. Some people may have a constellation of them as well, right? So because some autoimmune diseases attack the entire body, right? Entire different organs. So it becomes
other things that
happen, right? So it becomes a conundrum because you're wondering, what is the cause of this? And then sometimes it takes long for persons to achieve a diagnosis because some symptoms overlap, right? So it requires intensive workup and follow-up because these symptoms tend to last long or for lifetime, right? So it's important to ascertain what are these symptoms and follow up with the patients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys tell me from as a little boy that prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
I say that to say that some foods, fluids, you see, good for your immune system.
Yes.
So is it a lifestyle thing? And if I'm into these foods that good for me, my immune system, chances are that I won't get one?
Well, to be honest, based on my reading and my understanding, they say the Western diet may have is a possible risk factor, but it's lower down on the list, right? But it's less like the food that you eat, right? But more genetics, hereditary, or it just comes up all of a sudden.
It's less likely the food that you eat to stop it from happening, or less likely the food that you eat to make it happen?
Well, both.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
This may be way out of the park, but I'm wondering if there are, for example, chickpea. There are a lot of Jamaicans who have the chickpea.
Yes.
Are complaining about joints, myself included, joint issues and so on. And I wondered to myself, are there other types of viruses or diseases that may trigger autoimmune responses?
I like that question, right? So disease or inflammatory, infectious diseases can predispose one or cause flare-ups because sometimes you may have symptoms and they go away, and that's what we call remission. But then at times they may have flare-ups. So you'll have people who come in and say, oh, all of a sudden my joint hurt me, or severe pain all over the body, muscle aches, etc. And that's what we call flare-ups. And things, as I mentioned, infectious diseases like viruses can predispose or trigger flares. Right, so viruses, so chickpea, COVID-19, right, any bacterial infection, any infectious process that can predispose one to flare up. So whenever persons come into like the hospital, we all take a comprehensive history to find out if these patients have any infectious processes going on, right? Is it the case that you had a flu recently? Or do you have a flu now? Right? You have a fever, you have joint pain, you feel weak, feel tired, vomiting, diarrhea. So look out for those things to see if there's an infection going on, because that's going to bring on, all right?
The flare.
Exactly.
And then some of the illnesses, diseases that you mentioned earlier, stay with you for your life. I mean, you have diabetes, some people, it's not something that you just get rid of tomorrow or next week or something.
Well, you have type 1 and type 2 diabetes,
right.
But for type 1, essentially, the body is attacking some cells in the pancreas, because pancreas produces insulin, right? You need insulin to regulate your blood sugar.
Yep.
But when the body starts attack the pancreas now, it's like a leaf-like structure in the body. When the body starts attack the cells in the pancreas, that's how you get type 1 diabetes, right? And then that's how people, but that's just one, because as I mentioned, it affects different organs.
But some of the diseases you can get rid of and move on, I suspect. I'm asking.
Get rid of it? Sometimes they go away, but for the majority of them, you have them for a lifetime.
But they can be controlled.
But they can be controlled, right, with medications.
And it's not something that would necessarily go and kill you.
No, it's a possibility, but you can live a healthy life, but they may be debilitating, or it may affect how you function at work, right? Because of course, imagine you're working, depending on the type of job you do, you're having joint pains or you're having swelling, and then that would preclude you from operating effectively, right? And that can also affect your mental state as well. So you need to look at that. It's a holistic approach, right? Some people may be depressed because, hey, they can't work again, and then some people may lose their job because it decreases their functionality.
The pain may make them agitated.
Agitated, precisely. And for persons with diabetes, same thing, you need to be on insulin, right? So it may affect their how they operate.
Quality of
life.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming, Virgin. Good to see you.
All right, thank you for having me.
Fortis.
All right.
Internal medicine resident at the University Hospital of the West Indies, Dr. Je-Vaughn Wynther, who, I'm serious, he's late for work, so I'm going to run go to work now. You're going to work now, right? Yes. Thanks for your service.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate that. All right, we'll be back to talk. Is what, JA deals or JA deals? What do you think? JA deals after this. Stay tuned. We'll soon find out whether I'm right or wrong.
That's 10 minutes to your health.
We'll do it again next Thursday.